Your dog sleeps every day. That's normal. Every dog sleeps, sometimes a lot, sometimes more than people expect. And because of that, most owners never question it. They see their dog lying down for hours, changing positions, curling up in a corner, stretching out on the floor, sleeping through the afternoon. And none of it feels strange because dogs are known for sleeping often. But what most people don't realize is that there's a difference between normal rest and excessive sleeping that quietly starts appearing when something deeper is happening inside the body. The dangerous part is that the change usually happens slowly. Your dog doesn't suddenly collapse or stop moving completely. Instead, the behavior shifts little by little, almost invisibly. Maybe they sleep slightly longer than usual. Maybe they stop getting excited as quickly. Maybe they stay lying down when they normally would have followed you. These changes are subtle, which is exactly why most owners ignore them. At first, it feels harmless. In fact, many people even think it's cute. They laugh and say things like, "My dog is so lazy," or "He just loves sleeping." But sometimes excessive sleeping is not laziness at all. Sometimes it's the body conserving energy because something feels wrong. Dogs are incredibly good at hiding discomfort, much better than most people realize. In the wild, showing weakness could make an animal vulnerable. So dogs develop the instinct to continue acting normal, even when they don't feel normal. That instinct still exists today, even in dogs living safely inside homes. Which means your dog may continue eating, walking, wagging their tail, and following routines, while still quietly dealing with discomfort underneath the surface. One of the first things many dogs do when they don't feel right is reduce unnecessary movement. Not dramatically, gradually. They rest a little more, sleep a little longer, stay lying down more often because rest requires less energy than movement. And because this happens slowly, owners adapt to the change instead of questioning it. You may notice your dog hesitating before standing up, taking longer to respond, choosing softer places to rest, avoiding stairs occasionally, lying down more frequently during walks. But because these moments come and go, people explain them away. He's just tired. She's getting lazy. Maybe they had a busy day. And while those explanations feel reasonable, the pattern continues growing. Another reason sleeping changes can be so difficult to notice is because dogs naturally sleep a lot already. Some dogs sleep 12 hours a day or more. Puppies sleep even longer. Older dogs rest frequently too. So when extra sleeping starts happening, it blends into behavior that already seems normal. That's what makes hidden changes dangerous. They hide inside routines people are already used to seeing. And sometimes the issue has nothing to do with age at all. A younger dog suddenly sleeping much more than usual may be responding to stress on the body that owners cannot see. Skin irritation, digestive discomfort, joint pain, ear inflammation, paw sensitivity. Even environmental stress inside the home can slowly affect behavior and energy levels over time. Dogs don't always show pain directly. Sometimes they simply become quieter. And quieter behavior is easy to misunderstand because calm dogs are often seen as good dogs. If a dog suddenly becomes less energetic, some owners even feel relieved because the dog seems easier to manage. But lower energy can sometimes be the body trying to avoid discomfort. Think about how humans behave when feeling unwell. People often rest more, move less, avoid effort, seek comfort, and conserve energy naturally. Dogs do the exact same thing, but they do it silently. And because they do it silently, owners frequently miss the signs. One hidden factor many people overlook is sleep location. Dogs dealing with discomfort often start changing where they rest. Maybe they avoid harder floors. Maybe they suddenly prefer colder surfaces. Maybe they isolate themselves in quieter areas. Maybe they move away from bright rooms or noisy spaces. These changes are subtle behavioral adjustments that can reveal more than people realize. Temperature also plays a role. Dogs feeling physically uncomfortable sometimes seek cooler areas because inflammation and irritation can make the body feel warmer internally. Other dogs seek warmth constantly because muscles and joints feel stiff or uncomfortable. And then there's interrupted sleep, one of the most overlooked signs of hidden discomfort. A dog may technically sleep often but rest poorly. Constant repositioning, small movements, waking up frequently, circling repeatedly before lying down. These behaviors may look insignificant, but they can indicate the dog is struggling to get comfortable. Many owners never notice because these patterns happen quietly during the day or overnight, while nobody is paying close attention. Another important detail is enthusiasm. Healthy dogs usually respond consistently to things they enjoy. Walks, treats, toys, attention. But when a dog starts sleeping more because something feels wrong, those reactions may begin changing subtly. The excitement becomes delayed, less intense, less frequent. Again, this doesn't happen dramatically at first. That's what makes it difficult. The dog still reacts, just not the same way as before. And because the difference is gradual, people adapt emotionally to the change instead of recognizing it. One of the biggest mistakes owners make is assuming a dog is okay simply because they still eat. Appetite is not always a reliable indicator of comfort. Many dogs continue eating normally, even while dealing with irritation, inflammation, or chronic discomfort. Survival instinct pushes them to maintain normal behavior as long as possible. And sleeping becomes part of that adaptation process. Sometimes dogs sleep more because their body is trying to recover from constant low-level stress. Allergies are one example. Many dogs experience irritation from things owners never suspect. Cleaning products on floors, dust trapped in bedding, moisture in sleeping areas, certain fabrics, outdoor particles carried inside after walks. Over time, these irritants can affect the skin, paws, ears, and overall comfort level. And when the body constantly deals with irritation, it becomes exhausting. Not dramatic exhaustion, quiet exhaustion. The kind that slowly changes behavior. The kind owners normalize because nothing looks obviously wrong. Even poor sleep environments can influence this cycle. A dog bed that traps moisture, dirt, oils, and bacteria may slowly contribute to irritation and discomfort over time. If your dog lies there every single day, the exposure becomes constant. And constant exposure creates long-term stress on the body even when symptoms remain subtle. Dogs dealing with hidden discomfort often create routines around rest that owners don't fully understand. They may choose certain positions repeatedly because those positions reduce pressure on painful areas. They may avoid stretching fully. They may sleep curled tighter than usual. They may move more cautiously after waking up. But because these changes happen slowly, they rarely trigger alarm immediately. And then there's emotional stress, something many people underestimate completely. Dogs are highly sensitive to environments, routines, tension, noise, and emotional energy around them. Major changes inside the home can affect sleeping behavior dramatically. New schedules, loud environments, lack of stimulation, isolation, inconsistent routines. All of these things can slowly influence how much a dog sleeps and how engaged they feel throughout the day. But there's one thing that makes this especially difficult. Excessive sleeping often looks peaceful. A sleeping dog looks comfortable, safe, relaxed, which means people rarely associate it with a potential problem. But sometimes sleeping more is not about relaxation at all. Sometimes it's about withdrawal. Sometimes it's the body reducing activity because activity feels harder than before. And the longer this continues unnoticed, the more normal it begins to feel. That's why owners often realize something is wrong much later than they should. They look back and suddenly recognize that the signs had been there for weeks or months. The extra sleeping, the lower energy, the subtle behavior shifts, the hesitation, the small changes in excitement. But because none of those signs seemed dramatic individually, they blended into everyday life. And this same pattern repeats constantly with dogs because they are masters at hiding discomfort while maintaining routine behavior. But there is one specific sleeping behavior, one subtle pattern that many dogs show when something deeper is affecting them. And almost nobody notices it because it looks completely harmless at first glance. Once you understand what this behavior means, you start seeing it everywhere. You notice it during naps, during walks, after meals, late at night. And suddenly the way your dog sleeps no longer looks random. It starts telling a story most owners completely miss. And that's exactly what we're going to reveal in the next video. So if you made it this far, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and tell me in the comments, has your dog ever started sleeping more suddenly without an obvious reason?